No, you don't need to adjust the focus. It's perfect. It's exactly where it needs to be. There. Yes. All right. We'll just spend the whole entire show looking at this beautiful piece of jewelry that Mom made for me. Don't you think? I love it. The focus is perfect. We are doing this. Thank you, Ma. You guys be sure to tell Ma that she is amazing. I can't even tell you how in love I am with this thing. Obviously, the whole show, we're gonna look at this. No, I promise we won't, but, but, I'm so excited about this, you guys, and the meteorite, and oh my God, my brain's gonna explode. I have so much to talk about today. So welcome, Lava, Boot, Patricia, Ma, Ma, Turtle's here. Hey, Turtle, Jennifer, cheers, everybody. It's stunning, isn't it, Patricia? Oh my goodness. Lava Bison says that it's an especially, I gotta read it, especially nice presentation too. Unsurprisingly so. Hey, Cynthia. Yeah, I love the way that Ma puts her jewelry in a little bottle. So even when you're not wearing it, it's like beautifully displayed. I love it. Oh, Ma, you rock. Absolutely rock. So, speaking of jewelry, before we get carried away with all of the, gosh, I have so much to talk about. Before we get carried away with everything today, this month's jewelry challenge, if you haven't been on the Discord to see, is blue and green. Will this be my submission? Probably not. But I did start dabbling a little bit in some wire wrapping again, and it's been a minute for me. So it always, it's kind of like getting on a bike. Like, you do remember how to ride, but you're a little wobbly at first. So, but yeah, I actually pushed myself out of my comfort zone just a little bit and did a ring too. I wish the flash would show. I'm trying to figure out which direction. And I can't. It's okay. Hey, Rothrods. I also did this fun little guy. I think the reason why they won't flash at this camera is because my light is back here. But trust me, they're beautiful pieces. We'll see the flash when we turn around. Thanks, Jennifer. I worked on a couple of crazy lace cabs. I started working on the number 5 is alive. I bet that's backwards to you guys. I just kind of started smoothing out and shaping the edges a little bit. I haven't got to any polish work or anything. And I polished some blue tiger eye. And that's just like super mesmerizing. I think, oh, it's nice. It's nice. But then I start playing with it and I start lining up the laser beams. Pew, 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 pew. And pretty soon I'm like, 10 minutes sitting here playing with it. Lava Bison and I played around with the idea of how to, oops, I got a fuzzy on there. I don't know how I got a fuzzy on there. Played around with the idea of how to make little tea light holders with the head cheese rock. And So yeah, a little tea light goes right in there. Doot, 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 doot. And it's really, really pretty at night. I mean, it's cute in the daytime too, but it's super pretty at night. Also, I finished a bag of tumbles. Finally, my goodness, my poor tumbler hasn't sat idle like that for a long, long time. But the weather gets nicer and it's so hard to pay attention, you know? I'm like, oh, look, it's nice outside. I gotta go. Oh, look, a squirrel. Oh, look, a turtle. Hey, Josh, welcome. Glad you could stop in and join us. So I've, like I say, been really, really busy. The light sucks. It's really cloudy outside all of a sudden. I'm gonna turn another one on and we're gonna turn around. As long as we're sure we're done looking at this. Are we done? We'll take it off even and have a look at it, but oh my goodness, I'm so in love. So in love. All right, let's see if we can get everything to cooperate over here without pushing any buttons or throwing anything on the floor. Like I say, I've been busy. Woo! Look at all that busyness. Look at all that busyness. Should we start here? Isn't that just adorable? Yeah, blue tiger eye, definitely is the bee's knees. So, like I say, at nighttime especially, this is super fun. So, can we pretend that it's night? And yes. Get some light coming through some of these. Oh my gosh, how fun is this, you guys? Is it Theo Kellison Makers Challenge style stuff? No, but did we challenge ourselves to think outside the box? Ba-dum-bump. Ba-dum-bump. Yes, we did. And, you know, tried something different. By the way, this sounds and looks and seems like a simple thing, but you go ahead and drill however many holes with the Dremel that takes and cut everything square. And I mean, there's actually quite a bit that goes into that. So, yeah, that was fun. I didn't finish this piece. It still needs a lot of work, but this one's mostly done. This one's wild. Like, I didn't expect this to be quite as pretty. Like, the bands, when you... Can I get close enough? When you tip this, the bands do, like, some super weird optical stuff. Jeff's here, huh? He is. Hello, Jeff. I don't know if we can see it happening. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, kinda. It does some super weird stuff in there. I'm digging that. Yeah, like I say, number 5 is alive. I just started working the edges of that and stuff, so we'll get back to that. I did finish, this was just one piece of blue tiger eye, and Lava chopped it in half, and I went ahead and polished it up. I think we could try to be, yeah, there we go. So we got the nice, like, you know, hematite bands that run through it, and oh my God, like I say, it's, hey there, Jody. It just reminds me of like laser beams, and I can't stop playing with it. Once I start, I can't stop, and oh, isn't it pretty, you guys? Blue tiger eye. So I have some more of this. I got some bell ringing to do. I'm glad I looked over at the thing. Okay, and I have actually extra bell ringing to do. I love to leave you looking at this, and I promise we'll come back. But this is important, so we need to see my face and my necklace. Thank you, Ma. Thank you, Josh. Was it Josh that did this memberships? I need to scroll up and make sure. Was it Josh? It was Turtle. Thank you, Turtle. And then there's one up just above that. What is that? He joined. Aw, Turtle, you're the bee's knees. Turtle did the gifted memberships. Thank you, Turtle. So much appreciated. So, if you're not sitting down, you should probably sit down. Because I have a big announcement, you guys. I got 950 subs today. I'm 50 away from 1,000. I think that deserves a bell ringety ring. A super duper uncontrollable bell ring. Thank you guys. Yeah, I don't often talk about my subscribers or my watch hours or anything like that, but I've kind of been keeping a little bit of an eye on it lately, and I may have something of a bit of a surprise for when we get to 1,000. I do want to say that, like, I noticed that, hey, Chris, welcome. So glad to see you. I did notice that Jody, Marketplace Boutique, and if you guys haven't subbed to Jody, in fact, Jody's got 2 channels, and both are very cool. I like Jody's channels. Marketplace Boutique is, gosh, I'm gonna make you a mod so you can share your links. Got it. She also has another channel called Jody's Genealogy, and she, like, reads old letters and digs into, like, old history, and, you know, like, she just did a thing about, like, how women did their hair, like, super long hair, and I thought that was kind of cool, because, you know, I have really friggin' long hair, and, anyway, yeah, and do share all the links, wrenches, please, feel free, and if you guys aren't subscribed to Dr. Chris Sanders, sorry, Chris, who's also in this chat, you need to go subscribe to him as well. Oh, thank you again, Turtle. Why do prairies never get lost? Because they always find their way home on the range. Turtle. I like that. That was great. Oh, gosh. Yes, please do, Ma. Please, please do. Ma, you guys, some of you guys maybe don't know, I found this gorgeous piece of pet wood out here on the prairie, and I cut some slabs out of it with the intention on maybe polishing it up and making some beautiful jewelry out of it and stuff. And Ma saw it on the live like we're having now, and she was like, gosh, that's such beautiful pet wood, and if you send me a piece of that, I'll make you a piece of jewelry out of it. And I sent her 2 pieces and said, you make me one and you make you one, and you can keep the one and we can have sister slices. And yeah, I'm gonna get her back, you guys. You just wait and see. I want to send her something very nice back. We do that, you know, tit for tat, back and forth. Thank you, Jody, for sharing the links, and thank you, Ma, for sharing your link. And everybody check each other out. It's really fun a really fun community. So Chris Sanders is here, and Chris went to Georgia to hunt the fall and was successful. And if you haven't watched Chris's shorts, which I just want to say this too, by the way, thank goodness Chris makes short content. and I make long content because Chris's content is so like sharp and crisp and educational and on spot, and it's like professional and everything that like my channel isn't. So I'm so glad that we're not like competing with each other for your short content attention. Oh, I know I owe you nothing, Ma, but I'll get you back. Um, Chris, when he was out hunting this fall in Georgia, invited a father and son to kind of hunt along with him. And, you know, it's really helpful for people who live in these towns, who have never thought about, great, Patricia, I'm glad you did, who've never thought about meteorite hunting, and all of a sudden their town is literally bombarded with meteorite hunters. And a lot of them get curious and they're like, really, we could find, you know, meteorites. Well, it helps them to be able to see a piece of the meteorite. And I'm sure that Chris probably showed this father and son a piece of his meteorite that he had found, and then they joined the hunt, right? This 10-year-old boy, you guys, this is so cool. Almost as cool as all this bell ring. It's way cooler, actually. Way cooler than all the bell ringing we've been doing. In fact, we'll ring the bell for this kid when we're done telling this story. This 10-year-old kid, just a few feet away from Chris, was walking along, and he thought he found something, and he picked it up, and his dad was like, hey, I think he found something. And Chris and the dad and everybody ran over, and sure enough, this kid found like a 200 plus gram piece of the McDonough. By the way, I pronounced it wrong in my first video. But that's, you know, the drawback of trying to get information out really quickly, is that sometimes, you know, I don't have time to really fully research pronunciations or things like that. But, and then, you know, hey, can you tell I'm not from here? Tell me you're not from here without telling me you're not from here. It's McDonough, the McDonough meteorite. Yeah, Chris ran over and was like, absolutely. And so, you know, this could definitely change. Hi, Scott. But at this point in time, a 10-year-old kid could quite possibly be the main mass holder of the McDonough meteorite, of the Georgia Meteorite Fall. So, Chris is always doing super exceptional outreach, and especially when it comes to kids. He literally just, you guys hopefully noticed in my last videos and stuff, that he just published a children's book called Milo and the Midnight Meteorite. Chris, do you mind if you're still here? Can you type that in the chat for us? It's milosmeteorite.com is where you get your books at. And then there's deals, like if you buy one and then another one at half price, they'll donate that other one at half price to a school, or, you know, a library or something where other kids can get their hands on it. So, like, how cool is it that Chris is out here doing this stuff, you guys? Like, I can't say enough about the meteorite community and how everybody has their own little thing that they're doing, and how cool it is. Like, so cool. Like, so cool. It just, yeah, I'm so geeked out right now. So, yeah, like, how cool is it, you guys? Go sub to Chris's channel. We're so lucky to get to call him our friend. He's such a neat guy. Thanks, Ma. There's Ma's channel in the thing there. You guys go check Ma out. She's doing all kinds of beautiful jewelry and stuff like this. Seriously, like, you guys want to know what Ma did? Some of you guys aren't on the Discord. By the way, the Discord, like I said, if you haven't checked out, we just started a jewelry making thing, and the theme this month is blue and green. So whatever you want to make, however you want to make it, blue and green. So if we could get a link to the Discord too, that'd be great. Also, I'm gonna put into the chat, where did I put my sticky note? Oh yeah, I'm gonna ring the bell for the kid. And for Chris. Way to go, you guys. Congratulations, Chris, on your finds, and yeah, the release of your book and all of that. Where did I put my sticky note? I'll be right back. Let me see if I can find my sticky note. Yeah, I see it over there. Another funny story, and like maybe now that I'm kind of done spazzing out about success stories and subscribers and things like that. Oh, by the way, I did want to say too, um, it's okay if my channel grows slow. It really is okay. Like, by no means go, tell everybody that I'm at 950 and I just need 50 more subs to get there. But Jody, you did, and I appreciate you so much for that. But definitely, you guys don't worry about it. It's gonna happen, and like I say, I've got a little bit of a surprise planned. So please don't don't make it happen too soon, because I'm not quite ready yet. Okay, let it happen naturally. We'll be there very soon. Okay, whoops, let's get this out of the way. You guys don't need all of that information that's on there. I want to just stick some of it in the chat while you guys are looking at some pretty rocks. I'm gonna what? Oh, great. Yeah, thank you. I do appreciate it. Like I say, the genuine outreach and subscription, I do appreciate. Like, we're getting close, and it's okay if it happens organically. I really prefer that, but yeah, definitely don't oppose to sharing me out, but don't push me too fast, guys. I'm not quite ready yet. My big surprise is still in the mail. And I'm trying to ARIZ. Oh, I cannot spell and talk. Welcome, Outdoor. I'd like to extend an invitation to those of you who are here and in the chat and watching. And I'd just read this out loud, but I just want to drop it in the chat so you guys have a chance to jot it down if you want to. There. I've mentioned a couple of times this week that the meteorite meeting tonight is going to be super duper lively. If you're interested in joining us, please feel free. You don't have to show your face. You don't have to unmute your mic. In fact, it's kind of nice if you do mute your mic while others are talking and stuff, so that there's not a whole bunch of background noise and stuff happening. But yeah, you don't have to show your face or anything. You can literally just join and listen. You can join and ask questions and leave comments in the chat. So I just wanted to put that out there. If you guys are interested in coming tonight and listening to some of the, Chris Sanders will be there. He'll be talking about his find and the, his experience out there. He was telling me that some of the coolest part of being there was to visit with some of the other hounders and collectors who you talk with, via social media things and on Zoom and, things like that. But or you're friends with them on Facebook or, whatever. But then to actually get to meet them in real life and shake their hands and laugh and joke and hunt together was the best part of the experience for him, or part of the best part of the experience for him. Yeah, this blue tiger's eye is just off the hook. Woo! But I've been a big sucker for this labradorite lately too. Because duh, look at it. It's so electric. Sorry, the bag is really bright and shiny, but the rocks, they're in there. See? Look at the schiller in that one. Is that stuff stabilized? No, it's not. That might have helped for some of the, like, some of it when you see how polished, you see how, like, some little fine stuff in it. It might have helped to prevent some of that, but yeah, nah. It seemed stable enough that I just went for it. Not gonna lie, it's kind of gross. I was like, ew, I don't like it. And Joseph was like, what do you mean you don't like it? And I was like, it's kind of disgusting. Like, now that I've worked it, it's not too bad. But when I first started working it and it was on that bigger wheel, like literally the little like asbestos-y fibers were breaking off the edge of it, and like they were gross. I didn't like it. The more I worked it, the better it got. It quit shedding and being disgusting. But there, Josh just did the thing. See, yeah, guys, I got it. Oh, look at you doing the members today. Heck yeah. You guys rock. Let me go see if I've missed anything else important while it was happening here. I don't think so. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. Saying that my meteorite videos are informative and fun. Yeah, these are stunning. Oh, so yeah, I stepped out of my comfort zone just a little bit. Like I say, trying to maybe come up with something worthy of an entry for the jewelry competition over on the Discord this month. Let's see if we can get you guys in just a smidge closer. Enhance. Enhance. So I make a lot of necklaces, but I'm not so big on, like not as good at making rings, obviously, and bracelets and stuff. But when it came to displaying these pieces of labradite, I was like, one wants to see that on the body, right? Like you want to see all of that flash and beautiful stuff. Like you don't want it on your neck where you can't see it, do you? You like want to see it playing in the sunshine and stuff, don't you? So I went ahead and did that. I have a mismatched clasp because I still haven't ordered silver clasps. Oh my God, I suck. But yeah, I've enjoyed working this material too, because again, I'm used to working, Montana agates and stuff that's just ridiculously hard, and this stuff is not, and that's been enjoyable. Thank you, Ma. This piece is so pretty. Like, of course, I put it this direction because this is the direction that you see a lot of the color at. Is that way up? Let's see. Come on, light you up. There you go. So I usually don't love this colored wire, and I usually do a lot different style of wrap. But again, the challenge this month over on the jewelry thing is green and blue, and there's quite a bit of blue in my stone, but not as much green. And so I played with the green wire just a little bit. Same thing over here, the green wire. What a pretty set, eh? Wow. And then I was really gonna like get into it. I was like, let's like play with some super outrageous colors because there are some outrageous colors in some of these pieces. You know, some of the pinks and oranges and blues and, you know, all different colors. So there's like a super magenta hot pink wire that peeks in and out every now and then underneath of that gold wire. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, it's you know, I'm not the greatest jewelry maker out there in the whole wide world, but um you know, I also am the one who cut and polished these stones. So, you know, every going all the way from, you know, a rough rock, cut it, shape it, polish it, you know, work it into a piece of jewelry. There's some definite LOVE into what I'm doing for sure. For most sure. So now that we've looked at my jewelry that I've been super busy making, and we've looked at a couple of the little pieces that I've been working on, like I say, that weird the agate that does the flashy stuff and the stuff and the stuff. Let's have a close-up look at Ma's piece here because it's so pretty. I'm so in love with this. Hey, Karen. Oh, too cool. It's right here. Excuse me while I have a quick cheers to you. And cheers to me. Forever rockhounds we will be. Mm-hmm. I was late today too, Karen, so don't feel bad, and thanks for stopping in. So I found this piece of pet wood out here on the prairie, and it's covered in this stuff that you never can get off. Like, no matter how much what you put chemical on it, no matter what you scrub it with, no matter how much you ultrasonic it. So there's just a little peak of a little druzy pocket here, and then you can kind of see some of the end just a little bit here and here. But you know, judging from the outside, this is kind of an ugly duckling, right? I mean, it sure could be pretty inside, but there's really nothing out here that on the outside of this rock that says it's gonna be freaking stunning. Oh, guy, welcome. And so, like I say, I cut a few pieces of this, and Ma was like, what in the heck? It almost made her mind explode. And like I say, she offered, she was like, hey, I'd love to work that beautiful piece of pet wood you just cut into a piece of jewelry. And then, you know, a deal was struck. And I was gonna say, it blows both of our minds because yeah, the description that you know, when you look at this, you obviously see the wood grain down here, but up here it almost looks like dino bone. And so yeah, her descriptive words are, it looks like dino bone and petwood had a baby. It totally does too. Look at the fine work she did on this, you guys. It's so pretty. So pretty. Oh my gosh. It is actually, isn't it? I do not. I do not, Karen. Oh, pretty wood? Now you guys see why when I started the live today, I was like, do not adjust the focus of your camera. It is in focus. Like, let's just look at Ma's beautiful piece of work here all day. Oh my goodness. How wild would that be if your pendant could stay backlit while you wear it? That's what I like about the lab. Is that it like looks like someone turned a neon sign on inside of it. It's like someone just like flicked the light, the argon was ignited, and you know, from within the stone doth glow. Oh, it's so cool. Yeah, like I say, who would have thought, you know, it really was kind of an ugly duckling on the outside, and you get in there and it's just like a whole new world, a wondrous place I never knew. Sorry, I better not, I'll get copyrighted. Besides that, let's not earworm you with stuff like that. Oh no, Josh. A prehistoric ginkgo? We find the ginkgo and the maple impressions in the sandstone. That's cool, Jennifer. Yeah, I'm not quite so lucky as to find that kind of fun stuff in the I find a lot of like, you know, sea squids and clams and I apologize, Ma. Hey guys, guess what? It's time to fill the cup up. Oh my gosh. How about this? Like, we just put some wonderful things here for you guys to examine. While I fill my cup up. And when we come back, let's see. No, it's got to be this. This fits in the hole. There. When I come back, we'll look at the tumbles that I finished. Yeah, you maybe have found some opalized sea critters. Even the pet wood will opalize just a little once in a while. So, yeah, you never know some stuff. Empty cup, oh no. Yeah, fill your cup up. We have, like, it's actually incredibly green here still for the 4th of July. So hopefully we won't have any issues doing our stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. That's hitting the spot. The last sip was good, but this sip is fresh and hot and wonderful. All right. Back you up just a smidge. Just a smidgen. Oops. There we go. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh. Ma. I just can't get over it. Right on, machine. Oh, I should show you guys too, in case you've never seen, because some of you maybe haven't. Along with Ma's necklaces, let me polish that up really quickly. Along with Ma's necklaces, she sends a little jar and a little lid with a little hook. A little hooky McHookerson. A little hook ski. And you just take the hook and you hook it through the necklace. And your necklace, I still have fingerprints on the jar. And then your necklace is neatly displayed while you're not wearing it. You could put it up in the window and let the light shine through it. You could put it in the kitchen window or the bathroom window, or up in your vanity where the lights are shining, or you know, in your rock display collection, however, wherever. It's just like such a pretty way to keep your jewelry when you're not wearing it. I love that. Ma, you're so stinking creative. So creative. Okay. Some of these rocks came from Theo Kellison. And some of those rocks, it's been such a long time since I put them in. Some of them I can identify and some of them I cannot. Like this one I know came from Theo. Probably this one too. This one maybe? I'm really not sure. This one came from Theo. Probably one or two of these Petwoods did as well. Came from Theo. I think this one might have been mine though. That's probably a Theo rock. Okay, but I think the rest of those are Prairie Rocks, except that one I found in Old Man Sherman's stuff. And those ones I cut off of a different thing. A different rock. That's a Theo rock. Okay. Okay. I think that's an accurate representation of the division. Something like that. Something like that. Yeah, what are those? I can't remember. This is our rhyolite. But what is this? This is it also rhyolite? It sure did take a nice polish, didn't it? You know what I mean, Vern? That's got some agate on it. We should light that up a little bit. Oops. Ma's got a store too, by the way. Do you not, Ma? An Etsy or an eBay or... Jesus. You'll have to forgive me. Would you share that link? I mean, that's just one more way that people can reach out to you or see what you do or, you know, on their own time, if they feel like. I'm going to grab a cheers while Ma does that. Etsy. There, J&V knows. He's in the know. So let's just start with these. We'll get these out of the way. So these are an agate that I've had and I've cut a lot of and I've polished a lot of. I do believe this came out of Sherman's stuff. Nice little pieces. Oops, he's super slickery. They're slickery. Pretty little pieces. Might have even been a pet wood or something, but a nice little handful. There it is, thanks. This one was super cool. I liked this one. It's got like the hematite or whatever, the metallic bits in there. Huh. So it was obviously just a little saw scrap, and unfortunately the tumbler didn't quite get the little saw scrap mark out of there, but that's okay. Just a little piece that I had dug out of the ground while I was out at Sherman's. Did I tell you guys I went out there again? Like maybe a week and a half ago, and found a tick on myself. You guys will have to let me know. Did I tell you the tick story? Did I give you a, you know, hilarious reenactment? Because if not, I'd be more than happy to flip the camera around and do so now. So I put a little, you know, Grayson video out right before this, and as you saw that, like, there was like a, you know, pretty good sized mud puddle in the middle of that road. So a lot of the roads were kind of like that. And so I knew better than to get too carried away out there. And I was like, well, you know, when the roads are muddy, a really good option is just to go to Sherman's and see what you can scrounge up, right? And I found one or two rocks and was looking around and stuff. And I kind of stomped like way over the hill to make sure that I didn't miss like where they were pushing the majority of the junk. You know, there wasn't like a big plop of rocks along the way or something, but so I went way over the hill and I came way back and kind of went to where I find a lot of the majority of the rocks, right? And the grass right now is super tall. Like I say, it's super green out here right now. It's knee height at least. And I'm scrunching down in the grass and stuff, right? And I stand up to move along, and as I look down on my jeans, I see a tick on my pant leg. And I'm like, okay, we are out of here. We are out of here. Like, no hesitation whatsoever. Like, instant flick and move. Like, we're out. We're gone. So as I'm walking though out of the out onto, I get up onto like, there's kind of a road up there, you know, where there's less grass and stuff. And as I'm moving along, I'm kind of examining myself to see if I see any more on me, right? And I've got like an armful of rocks and you know, my little digger tool and stuff. And as I'm coming up out of the bushes and my hat's falling off and stuff, and I get hit in the chest with a mosquito. I'm pretty sure it was a mosquito, and I know it wasn't there just a sec. But as that happens, I'm like, ah, get off of me! Ah! And I drop all my shit on the ground. I get it all picked up and I'm heading out again, and then I get another, I don't know, a horsefly or a mosquito or something. I'm like, yeah! And I threw my friggin' digger tool on the ground again. And I'm like, oh my God, I just can't get out of here. Like, oh God. Oh, take a weed eater. That's a good idea. Yeah, no, I don't think there will be a next time to Sherman's until like maybe after the first freeze or something. And then I'm good, I'll stay out of there. Oh, goodness. Yeah, and then the whole, like, you know, next couple of days, I was like, it's touching me. What is it? Don't let it touch me. Oh, gosh. Oh, I wanted to tell you guys a funny story, too. So while we're looking at these, like I say, we'll look at Theo's first. They're quite interesting. I don't know if that's Theo's or not, but it's pretty. Let's get the bag over here and we can just drop them in here as we look at them. So Steve Arnold of Meteorite Men. You guys watched Meteorite Men on the Discovery Channel. Well, Steve Arnold's still out there hunting meteorites, even though they're not filming for the Discovery Channel anymore. And like I say, he was actually the first whisper of this new fall over Georgia that I heard. I got a Facebook notification and it's like, Steve's live, and he said he was headed over to hunt this new fall. And I actually was messaging with our friend Stephen Amara, the finder of the Barnstable meteorite. I was actually messaging with him about some other meteorite topics, and I was like, hey, what's going on? Is there a fall over what sounds like Georgia or something? And he was like, oh yeah. So it's been interesting, like following Steve along. He was out yesterday mowing lawns in McDonough, Georgia. And so he's literally knocking on doors and like, hey, can I mow your grass? I'd love to mow your grass for free. And of course, that's not a bad deal for like maybe somebody who is getting up in years, or even a, you know, single mom or somebody who doesn't have a lot of time or whatever. That's a heck of a deal. And so a lot of people are, you know, I mean, clearly they're, you know, a little like weirded out, like, you know, who wants to just mow grass for free? But you know, his motive for wanting to do this is because, think about it, you guys. It's just about the most genius thing I've ever heard of. Think about it. I jokingly said in his comments in his chat, how many lawns can Steve grid hunt? I mean, mow in one day. Think about it. Each and every yard that he mows. How do you mow? How do you mow a yard? Do you go up and down and up and down? Do you go round and round? Oops, sorry. I'm trying to look at the camera while I draw. Either way, you literally cover every square inch. Do you go like golf course style? Do you go back and forth with the neat angled lines? Either way, what are you doing when you're mowing a lawn? Did I spell that wrong? Gridding. You're grid searching. You're literally grid searching every lawn in that you mow. I was like, that's the most genius thing Like, so genius. Like, you literally can look back and trace your steps and know exactly where you walked and exactly where you looked. How genius. And he went live and was mowing some grass, and I was like, I've never watched somebody mow grass with more anticipation. Yeah. Aren't these cool? I've seen pieces of the new fall for sale already, by the way. In fact, oh, this is a weird piece that I found. This is should not be in the Theo bunch. This is one that I found. Yeah, do hit that like, lurkers. What Opal guy said. Pieces are for sale already. I talked about our friend Roberto Vargas in that video that I did on the updates of the falls. And he is still in McDonough making finds. And he had a few for sale that, because he's still in McDonough, he can ship them from the McDonough post office, and you can receive your meteorite with a shipping date from, less than a week after it hit the ground from the town post office from which it landed for $150 a gram. Yes, he is, Jeff. Absolutely. Absolutely, they know why he is actually mowing their grass. Yes. He clearly states so that I can check your lawn for meteorites. And it's not like if he finds something, he's just going to stick it in his pocket and say, "Thanks for letting me mow your grass." No. The person whose lawn it fell in, they have an arrangement before, at let me mow your grass for free, and if I find anything, here's what I owe you. And I don't know the details of what that arrangement is, but I know that that arrangement is in fact being made, yes. Oh, we looked at this one first with all the agate on top, but that's okay. We can look at it again. But yes, very much so. They know. He even had one of the gentlemen whose lawns he was mowing in one of his videos. He called him like Mr. M or Mr. M to protect his anonymity. And he's like, "What do you think about all these meteorite hunters out here and, wanting to mow your grass and stuff?" And he was like, "It's kind of bizarro, kind of strange." And Steve said something about looking, mowing the backyard for the guy. And he was like, "It's such a big yard. You really don't have to. You can go look and you don't have to mow it." And he was like, No, I'll go mow it. He's like, "Curiosity's getting the better of me. I gotta go see what's in your backyard if you'll let me, so I'll totally mow it." But yeah, the guy, it was funny. It was funny to watch the guy. He's like, so not. It's like when you do the news interview and the person that they choose to interview is like not news worthy or news appropriate. Do you guys know what I mean? You guys know what I mean, right? Like, and some of that stuff will go viral. This wasn't viral worthy or anything, but when they like, "Tell us what you experienced today," and they're like, "Ain't nobody got no time for that," or whatever. Whoever they interview is just like, the guy was just like, "I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I guess it's, I don't know. You don't have to." He just was so unexcited. It was funny. So those, I think, were Theo's, and I think some of the rest of these are prairie finds. That is the classic grit grabber, but it looked fossil-y to me, and so I thought I'd polish it up and see if we could see, I still haven't looked. These just came out yesterday, but I wanted to see if that was indeed possibly fossil-y under the microscope. So yeah, PrairieGirlRocks. Theo Killison had a live sale there, and we bought a couple of rocks from him, and some of them got cut on the big saw, and some of them just got tossed straight to the tumbler. Pretty little agate, huh? Little prairie agate. Not sure if this was me or Theo. Oh yeah, that was probably me. That is not my favorite rock out of the bunch. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's kind of cool, but... What is that? I cannot say for sure that I found that out here. Maybe. I don't know. Cool. Yeah, so like I say, I'm super excited tonight to geek out with everybody and hear all the excitement and the enthusiasm and the, happenings. I've got my perspective, I know it happened from my point of view, which chronological order of people and things and news and facts and stuff that I received, but everybody's story is going to vary wildly from one another's as to how it happened for them, It's kind of like, for meteorite hunters in particular, it's kind of like, you know, everybody kind of remembers where they were or what they were doing the day that, 9/11 happened or something like that. Well, if a meteorite falls near enough to you, or that's your, your jam is to, like Pat Brown was saying on our interview, some of these guys literally have the bag packed right by the front door, ready to, go book, even if it's a very expensive plane ticket to anywhere around the world, whether it's in the US or whether it's in, another country. They're ready to hop on that plane and go. When an event happens like that, especially a US event, it's kind of like, where were you when when you found out you might not forget that too terribly soon. So especially if it's something that you pursued, you went out and you actually found a piece of it. That's pretty memorable stuff. Sorry, I chuckle out loud just because here's just a quick story while we finish looking into these rocks here, but another friend of our meteorite community had planned a trip to like Holbrook and two other known strewn fields, a little like round trip. Like, I'll stop at this one, and then the next day at this one, and then it's a 2-day drive to this one, and then back home. So he was out doing some meteorite hunting, and so like I say, I was actually chatting with Stephen Amaro when all this kind of came through, and he was like, "Hey, did you hear how did our other members meteorite hunt go?" And I was like, he's there like today or there tomorrow, so I haven't heard anything yet. And then all of this news breaks, all of the hunters are on their way down to go hunt this fresh fall and stuff. And I told Steven, I was like, our poor friend, like, that would be my luck. It has been my luck in the past. Like, even if he goes and finds one of these meteorites out of this known strewn field, like, for sure, his story and his experience is going to be completely overshadowed. Oh, by this fall and everyone's success here, I was like, yeah, that poor guy, you know, like, that would be my luck. And I say that has been my luck because I captured one of the most magnificent bolides on my security camera up here that I ever have in my entire life. And I sent it out immediately, the SOS, to all of these, like, 20 guys that are doing this regularly, or not all of them, because I don't chat with all of them, but to the ones that I do. And I was like, this is a huntable fall. Like, you guys want to come up here and see if we can find this? Like, let's go. And they were like, no, you're right. That absolutely looks like a huntable fall. And, I would be interested in it, except that it coincided with a predicted fall on the other side of the freaking country. So guess where everybody was? On the other side of the country, picking up and watching the predicted fall. My fall was completely overshadowed. You see what I mean? So I was like, yeah, poor thing. Like, yeah, he was gonna have all, like, exciting news for us all this Wednesday, but it's his fall is his finds are going to be completely overshadowed by all of the excitement of this, exciting bolide event over Georgia and those who went out and hunted it and were successful. That would be my luck. It'd be my luck that I'd have the trip planned, do the thing, and not find anything. In the meantime, everybody's all across the country finding things in Georgia. That would be my luck. That's okay. Wow, that's pretty. Super pretty. Little dendrite on the side. Oh, and you're so cute. Let's see you, little dendrite. Jody, did you see how Ma does her necklaces? Did you see how she displays her jewelry? I thought you'd think that was cute, Jody. Might give you some ideas for some of your crafty stuffs. Look at that. What is that? I spy with my little eye, a little eye. I see you. Hey, Romania, welcome. Little eye drop. Now I can't find it. Where the heck did it go? There it is. That's cool. Oops. Please don't do that. Thank you. I like that. Last one though, guys. Here's the last one out of the batch here. This is a big batch. Nature does the coolest stuff, man. Seriously. Seriously. Oh my goodness. Jennifer. But you gained subscribers reporting on the meteor fall. That's a win. Oh, yeah. I mean, for sure. Like, really, though, it's more important to me to get the information out there, to answer the questions for those who are curious, the best that I can. I've always said, especially with meteorites, it's so hard to learn about meteorites when you're just getting started because, to be perfectly honest with you guys, the internet is flooded with really bad information about meteorites and so many meteor wrongs and stuff like that. So to be able to offer, honest, reliable, genuine information to people, they've got to first stumble across, my stuff and then, believe what I'm saying and listen. But to put it out there for those who are looking for it is my main goal. I remember starting out as a meteorite hound and going, how in the heck do you teach yourself this stuff? And how do you weed out what's fact from fiction? In fact, I was just getting ready to do a video right before I'm back to this piece of pet wood that Mom made the necklace out of, by the way. I was just thinking about doing a meteorite myths episode about, one of the myths that I hear that is a big pet peeve of mine and drives me crazy is don't hunt meteorites with a magnet. Putting a magnet to your meteorite will ruin it. Honest to God, that is a thing, and it circled the internet not once, not twice, probably 3, 4, 5, maybe even a dozen or more times. Like, it's old news. And so it's funny because it'll make an appearance every now and then. It'll make a round through social media every now and then, and people will come to me and they're like, I just saw this ad on, Facebook or Pinterest or TikTok or something that said that you shouldn't hunt meteorites with a magnet. Is that true? And so I was like, that'd be a great video topic, something to address. It's not going to stop that from happening, from that, making its rounds every now and then and people asking, is it true? But maybe you've heard that once and you wondered, and you'd like a really good explanation of that, What do you guys think? I'm just curious. Will you drop it in the comments right now, those of you who are here and don't have, saw oil fingers or something impeding you from partaking in the chat? What do you think? Yes or no? Is it, fact or myth? Should you or shouldn't you hunt a meteorite with a magnet? There's no wrong answer. Don't feel ashamed. Look at how Fatma says, I think it's fine. Well, there is no guarantees, but yes, says Boot. Says Ken. Excuse me. That would be a good topic, says Jennifer. Yeah, there's the short answer to that, and like I say, I'd love to do a video on this and give you guys a long answer one of these days, but Romania says Earth is a much bigger magnet, so I guess it doesn't matter. And Jody says, yes, guess 50-50. She's like, I got a 50-50 chance of being right. So the concern that sparks this myth and topic is that inside of the meteorite, because it's been in space, the polarity of things inside are lined up a certain way, right? And that could potentially tell us something about the parent body, or, the conditions that this meteorite was in space. And so the myth and the basis upon it, the scare tactic to get everybody to freak out about the magnet, is that as soon as you touch the magnet to your meteorite, you unalign all of that magnetic polarity in the meteorite and line it up to your magnet. And that sounds terrible. You're like, oh no, right? Like, oh shoot, I never thought about that. But there's maybe one person on this entire planet who that might matter to. I mean, honestly, I don't know a whole lot of people who are out there studying the polarity of meteorites. Yes, there maybe are people, universities and studies that want answers to questions like that. And so, yeah, it can be really helpful to have pieces that are collected. I'm sorry about this bug bite on my eyelid, by the way. We're just going to ignore it if you can. Here, I'll look the other way just a smidge. And so it is helpful to have a few that were collected without a magnet. And a lot of meteorites can be collected that way, just on a visual basis alone. But the myth drives me nuts, because let's say for somebody like me who is out looking for a cold find, a find that's not in a known strewn field, or maybe we didn't see come in and land. I'm just looking for one that's maybe been here for thousands or maybe even hundreds of thousands of years before I stumble across it. If I can find that with a magnet and I can't without, then I'd rather find it than not, right? Like, if you are out, I'm going to use Marissa, for example, right now. Marissa's in a mobilized wheelchair, and she's the only person that I know that has actually hunted meteorites from her mobilized wheelchair. Let's say that she sees something, like, she can't literally like reach over the arm of her chair and all the way down and pick up every little tiny rock she sees. So it's really handy for her to have a little magnet stick to be able to test them out and bring them up to her level, right? So there are so many more cases where having a magnet is beneficial than there is where it isn't. There is a time and a place, like I say. If you're picking something up and you're hoping that it's really important to science, and you picked it up with a glove, and you tried not to touch it and it's really fresh, or whatever, those kinds of rare examples, it's nice to know that it didn't come in contact with a magnet. But like 99.9% of the time, it really isn't gonna matter. Like I say, the study of the magnetic polarity in magnets is a pretty specialized study. It's not like you're not going to get your meteorite classified if you find one with magnet and you're like, oh, well, shucks. All of that information's been erased and wiped clean. Oh, shoot. So. So, yeah, I'd like to get into that one of these days and like really give it, focused, direct, yes, no answer to that. Yes, it's important if it's important to science. No, it doesn't matter if 99% of the time. So. And then Boot says, like, what's the point if you're picking up a lunar or, a chondrite with no metal in it anyway, then, a magnet does you zero good anyway. So, but yeah, some of the hype sometimes, the myths, the myth of like, it started my house on fire. It was witnessed by everybody. And then, boom, my house was on fire. Must have been a meteorite. They're not usually burning hot when they hit the ground. There must be another explanation. Some of the myths, it'd be fun to address some of the myths, but yeah, just make me lose my dang mind. Sometimes I'm like, oh, that's a good one. I never heard that before. So, I just don't feel right. I don't feel whole and complete without my piece, honestly. Like, it's pretty in the jar. It really, really is. And when I'm not wearing it, that's definitely where it's going to be. But I gotta have it on. I'm super in love. I gotta have it on because I love it. All right. Yeah. So I've been busy this week, as you guys can tell. So much in the meteorite news. I did lots of slabbing and cabbing. I even did some jewelry making. Some fun stuff, some wire wrapping and fun stuff. And I'm going to drop it in the chat just one more time, in case you guys want to join. You guys can even come in and not use your real name. If that's, something you're worried about, you should probably, like, come up with something that identifies you as friend, like friend of Prairie or something like that as your screen name. Because we have had people who are not there for education and entertainment and who are there to just crash the party. And so you may get the side eye if you come in like named Anonymous or named, Ma or Machine Head or, Marketplace or something. They might be like, who are you? And like I say, you don't even have to unmute, or take your camera off, or put your camera on. You can leave your camera off and you can leave your thing muted, and you could just be a fly on the wall. You can participate with your questions and comments in the chat if you want. And yeah, you guys are welcome to come and join us tonight. It's going to be interesting listening to all the stories of the hunters and the finders and that kind of stuff. Like I say, I've already seen this meteorite for sale. It hasn't even been on the ground a week, and I've already seen pieces of it for sale. So, man, that happened fast, huh? Like, it usually does, if it's a witness fall like that, and if it makes a sonic boom and, that kind of stuff. But it usually kind of takes a couple of days before they can really pinpoint and start making finds, right? Like, this one, though, was like, hey, I'm here, right here, because it punched a hole in someone's roof. So that helped. That was like, okay, we know exactly where to go. And that helped, like I say, save that processing time of like, maybe here, somewhere in this 20-mile radius, They knew exactly where to start looking. And like I say, pieces were found between 2 and 3 hours after it had hit, aside from the piece that hit the house. I don't know when it exactly they discovered that that had happened, but pieces were found within 2 to 3 hours of the meteorite hitting the ground. And then it rained and hailed that evening, just briefly. And then the next day is when the hunt really fired up, as you know, people were starting to arrive on location. Like I say, Steve Arnold drove 11 hours. It was just a couple hours away from Chris's house, so luckily he was able to just kind of get over there pretty quickly. But a lot of these guys had to fly in, and so it took them till the next day to really start hitting it really hard. And then the finds were coming in pretty regularly. I was starting to get an update every couple hours that somebody had found something. And then we get stories from Chris Sanders, like a 10-year-old kid found the biggest piece so far. He may be the main mass holder of the McDonough meteorite. How crazy is that? And then you know, it kind of slowed down a little bit to, like, you know, I could only stay for 1 day, so here's what I found, and I vamoosed, and I'm still here, and the finds are still coming, but just not as quickly. So here's, you know, find number 5, find number 6. You know, the updates kind of start to slow down, and then it's kind of just now kind of starting to shift gears to, you know, offering pieces of it for sale. But yeah, again, all of this happening in under a week. It'll be a week tomorrow since it landed. So yeah, it's gonna be a really exciting meteorite meeting tonight. I don't know who all is gonna be there, but I hope that because it's been almost a week, that people are gonna have time to take out of their evening this evening. Again, you know, it's usually dark in Georgia at 5:30 Arizona time, I think, or about dusk anyway. So hopefully they'll be able to kind of join and tell us their stories a little bit before they have to hit the hay, so they can get up and make the best of their investment in their plane ticket and their time, and get out boots on the ground and do it. So resort dog, well, I'm glad you're here loitering, even if you got guests. And if you feel like loitering there too later, you're lingering around, you're welcome. Like I say, the fly on the wall is always welcome at the Meteorite group. Just so you guys know, though, if you do show up, like I say, it's kind of proper etiquette to mute your mic when you're not talking and when you're just listening. And if you can hang, if you're curious enough to hang, I know it's like sometimes it's like a big old, like such a big spoonful of meteorite geekiness, nerdiness, that like you'll get your fill before the thing is over. But if you're there and it's just absolutely fascinating you, I highly encourage you to stay for what we call the after hours hangout. And that's when like all the East Coasters kind of start dropping off and heading to bed, and then us diehards kind of are there hanging out. That's when we really like deep dive and nerd out and unmute our mics and ask the questions that, you know, provoke thought and inspire conversation. And it gets a little more like, you know, it's hard to have an open conversation when you got, you know, 20 people in a group. And so you do kind of, you know, a lot of, like I say, there's a chat, a silent chat available there too, where you can, like, that's a little side conversation we're having alongside the conversation they're having, because you don't want to interrupt, or, you know, whatever. So, welcome to come in and ask your questions in the chat. If you want to hang out for the after hours and get deep divey, that you're welcome to do that. You know, it's not for everybody. There's no lie about that. And if it's not for you, you know, it's okay. It's totally okay. I'll give you the updates next week. I promise. I'll fill you in on all the juicy details if you miss it. So besides that, Wednesday night is other rock stuff going on. I know a lot of you guys will do a double channel thing. You'll put one on your phone and one on your TV, or one on your laptop and one on your TV, or whatever. but I do think, you know, Brian and Julie usually do their thing Wednesday evening. So, you know, like I say, if you've got plans to go join them, by all means, I'll fill you in on what you missed. I'll give you the cliff notes next week on, you know, all the exciting stuff that has I'll get that collective group opinion on what's happened in the last week and share it with you guys next week. Perfect timing. I got just a little sip left and onward I push, I think. I'm so glad you guys were here today. Mr. Chubby Hubby had an auction today, so keep your eyes peeled. He's been making some hilarious video content. As usual. But yeah, so glad to see Jody here, Machine Head, Resort Dog, Ma, Boot, Patricia, Cynthia, Romania, Ma, Jennifer, Bison, Josh. Who else? So many really cool members. Oh, Karen was here. Scott. Yeah, you guys, thank you so much for, you know, your continued support and well thought out questions and comments. And yeah, we looked at a lot of pretty rocks today. I've been just busy. Like I say, I just like, when I went to start today's live, I was like, I don't think I brushed my teeth last night before I went to bed. And then I went like to get my toothbrush and I looked up in the mirror and I was like, holy cow! I look like I survived a tornado or a hurricane or something. And I was like, yeah, I need to clean up just a little bit before I go live today. And that's probably a good thing, like I said, because I got my meeting tonight too. I shouldn't show up looking like I got ran over, drugged behind a four-wheeler or something, you know. It was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, it's been just a crazy, crazy, crazy week. In a good way, in a really good way. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Thank you guys again. And yeah, I'll see you around doing the things on other people's things and doing the, you know, do the likes and the subs and the stuff. Let's ring the bell one more time. I don't usually do an end ringer, but let's do the thing one more time for 950 subs on this channel. And again, for just that being an organic process and an absolute joy along the way for me, and I hope for you guys as well. Let's ring the bell again for a 10-year-old kid finding possibly the main mass of this Georgia Fall. And for everybody who was here today doing the awesome things and stuff. Let's give it a good ring. Been a long time since I gave it a darn good ring. Like it was worthy today. Woo, woo, woo. Yeah. Again, do not adjust the focus of your camera. Your camera is in focus. Oh, you guys rock. Thanks so much for hanging out. I always look forward to Wednesdays with you guys. It's definitely the highlight of my week. Like I get to do it here and then I get to go take a little break and do some stuff with rocks and then get to go do it with my meteorite crew. And then, like I say, I look forward to everybody's stuff going on all throughout, you know, checking out the Discord. Who's going to be brave enough to make the first jewelry submission for the month of July? You know, checking out the cab challenge. Who's, you know, what's the topic going to be after Theo won with his amazing throwing star dagger style mind bend? Like you were right. Like tell me this didn't just this happened to you. Like tell me if I'm the only one who experienced this. I was scrolling on along, watching all of this, you know, looking at the things, and I saw Theo's, and I was, you know, checking everybody's stuff out, like, oh, it sure is nice to have a brain today, like, you know, I'm so glad I have a brain. And then I looked at Theo's cab, and my brain went straight out my ear hole, and I was sitting there like, ah! What? Ma, too, I meant to tell you guys that earlier. If you guys aren't on the Discord and you didn't watch Karen's thing, I mean, there might be a couple of you in here who missed it or didn't see, but did you guys see Ma's cab? All of the like brain residue that I had left after Theo shot my brain out my ear hole into the stratosphere in the oblivion, all of the like little gray matter and grease and slime and like residue that was left went straight out my other ear hole when I saw Ma's cab. She made a cab, a triangle-shaped cab out of agate, like the hardest gosh dang material known to man. And she put the, I'm sorry, I don't have a tiny rock. Yeah, I do. She had a triangular-shaped little opal cab, doublet maybe even, triplet, whatever the hell. Stop it, Ma, stop it. She put it inside of the agate cab that she carved out hollow. Like, it sure was nice to have a brain that one day, and then Theo shot half of it out this way, and Ma shot the rest of it out that way. It was a triplet. Shut up. Shut up. Oh, God. Seriously, like, what kind of crazy? And I'm like, check it out, you guys. I made a box. And I put a candle in it. Yeah. Sure is nice to have a brain today. What just happened? So, like, what? Holy cow. Oh, the talent in this community. Seriously, you guys. Crazy. Crazy. Seriously, she put a cab inside a cab. No, she put a triplet inside a hollowed out agate. Jeez. Just can't. I can't. I just can't. So, yeah, if you guys, you just never know. You'd be sitting there one day thinking, gosh, it sure is nice to have a brain. And the next thing you know, you literally witness it, like, launched into the oblivion. Yeah. So, like I say, it's been a crazy week. It was actually a box I made from Montana agate. I didn't hollow it out. You didn't hollow it out? Well, okay, still. You put a triplet inside of a, you see what I mean? How, like, who does that? I've never seen that done before. How many man hours goes into something like that? Seriously, you want to talk about next level perfection and lining stuff up and precision and I'm just like, I made a ring, guys. And Ma's out here blowing the brain sludge left like out my ear hole. Too many hours. For sure. For sure. Oh, for sure. For sure. Oh, goodness. Yeah, but I mean, I got an abnormal amount of stuff done for myself for 1 week, you know. I got into some of that crazy. I got into the I made like what, 3 more of these this week. Yeah, you know, just stuff. I did some stuff. I cut some stuff too that we're not looking at. played with some stuff and finished some other things, and yeah, rock stuff everywhere. I need a life. No, no, you got it. You got it. I mean, seriously, when we were kids, we loved to look at rocks, and we just grew up into big kids, and that's the best way. Like, seriously, seriously, I think it's a great way to stay young at heart, because we're not just, you know, mindlessly and you know, closed offishly spending hundreds of hours doing this kind of stuff. We are networking with each other and encouraging each other, inspiring each other, all of that fun stuff along the way. So you know, I think it's not the same kind of social experience or whatever that our grandparents had when they got together and played pinochle every night with a couple down the street or whatever, you know, and they had pie and stuff. But that we need pie on this channel. But it's interesting because we're able to network with people who are like-minded and interested and able to inspire and encourage us from all over, you know, wherever, not just within our neighborhood or our community or our town or our state, but it's really, you've got a life. You've got a good one. Every 5-year-old dreams of growing up and being you, Ma. You're like, I just want to play in the sandbox all day. Make pretty things out of pretty rocks. Like I say, it's perfect timing. We're out of coffee. The battery's almost dead on the phone. And what day is it today, said Pooh to Piglet. Today is my favorite day. I'm really looking forward to tonight on the meteorite meeting. And like I say, I'll get you guys the updates next week. And if there's anything like super exciting between now and then, I'll do another update video. And that's cool, Machine. And in the meantime, we'll sing the song and we'll get the heck out of here. Oh my God, seriously, you guys, some pretty stuff. I was really lucky to work some pretty stuff this week. Pretty rocks out on the prairie. Pretty rocks are everywhere. Pretty rocks for us to look at. Pretty rocks are everywhere. There's a pink one and a green one and a blue one and a yellow one, and they all are very pretty, and they all are everywhere. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and in a world where you can choose to be anything, choose to be kind. Of a rock hound. See you guys. Have a great rest of your week. And boop. Peace, hippies.